Hey guys, Alan Bale here, and guess what? We have a brand new trailer. We've got NASCAR Heat 5 gameplay, so let's talk about this a tiny bit here. I feel the need to point out right off the bat, this is not actually quote-unquote gameplay. I know, crazy thought, crazy thing to talk about, but it's not. The trailer starts with November 2020, which by the way, is where the season will end. Yes. The new schedule is here. Great. But if you actually look at all of the footage, it's actually part of the replay system. None of it's actually in-car. None of it is in-game engines. None of it is even any of the camera angles that you can access in the game while you're actually playing it. All of it is replay-based. So we might as well just call this what it is. It's the NASCAR Heat 5 replay montage, which is fine, but it's actual in-game footage, and it normally is a little bit polished up in the replays than it is in the actual gameplay, so take this footage with a grain of salt. But let's get into something right off the bat that I noticed. If you actually take a look at it, once we get to the Coke 600, in the little schedule sidebar on the left-hand side, it says Coke 600, but you see two Charlotte dates there as well before the Coke 600. What two races happened before the Coke 600 in the NASCAR community? Before COVID, you have the All-Star Open and the All-Star Race itself, which look like officially is coming to the NASCAR Heat series. This is only a feature that's been around in NASCAR games for 20 years, give or take. The NASCAR Thunder series and the NASCAR games from the 90s that EA Sports also produced had these features, had these races, and finally, we're back to where we were in the 90s. Isn't that great? It only took 20 years. And oh, by the way, in case you're wondering, no, the shootout at Daytona before the 500 and the dual races at Daytona to set the field for the Daytona 500 do not look like they're going to be a part of NASCAR Heat 5. So we're not all the way back to where we were in the 90s, but we're kind of, sort of, almost there. Yay! It is very important to note, though, this 2020 schedule is what 2020 would have been before the coronavirus. So it's actually a cool, ideal look at what 2020 could have been and would have been. Now, whether or not this 2020 schedule translates into what happens in 2021 in the real world with the NASCAR Cup Series, Xfinity, and trucks, we're not so sure. The 2021 schedule was supposed to be a dramatic change and a dramatic shift for the series, but with COVID now taking over, it's very much been backburnered, and that is another topic and another video for another time. But for now, it's cool to see what 2020 would have been in this schedule form. One of the other questions that is answered in this trailer, Matt Kenseth. Is he going to be in the 42 or will it be Kyle Larson? We can almost certainly confirm that it is Matt Kenseth that will be behind the wheel of that 42 car, thanks to multiple shots with the 42 car with the Matt Kenseth paint scheme. Now, the video goes by super quick, so we can't actually see if it does say Matt Kenseth above the driver door and on the back windshield, but with that new paint scheme, it's all but certain that they did actually program Matt Kenseth in that 42 as opposed to Kyle Larson. It's important to note that the lighting significantly better in NASCAR Heat 5 versus NASCAR Heat 4. Also, the motion blur, a lot less in NASCAR Heat 5 than it was in NASCAR Heat 4. IDK put out a video where he did a side-by-side comparison of NASCAR Heat 4 and NASCAR Heat 5, and we can clearly see the differences in multiple shots that he has in that video. Make sure that you go check out his channel and that video specifically if you want to see the graphic differences, which is something that 704 promised us. They promised that it would be kind of massaging of the new graphics. Everything would be clear, a little bit more crisp. The physics supposedly are going to be dramatically changed, and we're almost sort of seeing that. If you look at this footage right here of this spin, it looks a lot smoother, a lot better, and that's something that they promised would be a priority for NASCAR Heat 5. Better physics throughout the game. Now, I like NASCAR Heat 4. It's a good game. The only problem I have with NASCAR Heat 5 is that it's essentially a DLC of NASCAR Heat 4. I'm not so thrilled about spending $70 for essentially some new paint schemes and a new schedule. And I really, really, really don't care about the test feature, which is something that, oh, by the way, we've had in games since the 90s. And of the 5th iteration of this series, why are we just now adding the test session? well, they didn't know what else to throw at us because they just simply ran out of time. Since I last did a video on NASCAR Heat 5, it is important to note we have these new Sunoco paint jobs that got released in this number 94 Toyota with Sunoco paint schemes on the hoods of these vehicles. It's all the same paint job, just on a Cup, Xfinity, and Truck Series vehicle. So if you like Toyotas, if you like this Sunoco paint job, it's kind of cool. And a couple of new photos from NASCAR Heat 5 also got released in the last month or so. They look pretty cool. It's not dramatically different, but it's actually pretty cool looking to see these vehicles. Looks a lot like NASCAR Heat 4 though. Just saying. I've said it before in previous videos, and I'll continue to preach it. If you're on the fence about buying NASCAR Heat 5, or you haven't bought NASCAR Heat 4, and you're wondering if you should buy NASCAR Heat 4 now, or wait until NASCAR Heat 5, I'm here to tell you, buy NASCAR Heat 4. It's a great video game. I'm not going to knock it. It has worked out a lot of the kinks that previous Heat games have actually had. NASCAR Heat 5 is going to continue this trend. There's no question about it. But because of the quick turnaround time between NASCAR Heat 4 and NASCAR Heat 5, including the downtime with the COVID coronavirus, I would highly recommend that you save the cash because you can get NASCAR Heat 4 online right now for as low as $20 or $25, depending on what country you live in, versus paying the $70, $80, $90 compared to NASCAR Heat 5, depending on what country you're in. And if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to miss out on the newest game, don't worry, this channel is going to do tons of Let's Plays for NASCAR Heat 5 when the Gold Edition drops on July 7th. It'll all be right here, so make sure that you hit that subscribe button to not miss out on any NASCAR Heat 5 content coming this July. Plus, we have our 100 subscriber giveaway. I know it's coming up a lot sooner than I thought, so I'm going to go ahead and announce it here. If you want to participate in the 100 subscriber giveaway, here's what you do. Make sure that you're a subscriber and keep an eye on future videos from this channel, because somewhere in one of the upcoming videos, once we hit 100 subscribers, we'll actually be giving you a code word. You need to be a subscriber and you need to put that code word in that specific video in the comments section in order to be entered for the 100 subscriber giveaway. What's the grand prize? Literally a pair of lug nuts. I'm a motorsports reporter and analyst for the American Racing Network, ARN, and when I went to the Auto Club Speedway for the Auto Club 400 in March 2020, I actually picked up a handful of lug nuts, used lug nuts from the Cup Series, and you're going to be winning a pair of lug nuts from that race. I don't have any authenticity because I literally picked them off of pit road myself with my own two hands. I'll be sending you a pair of those from the Cup Series, which, by the way, are going to be an extinct artifact soon when NASCAR goes to the next generation of vehicle and goes to that single race hub. It's a pretty cool little giveaway. Again, make sure that you're a subscriber and make sure you keep an eye on upcoming videos for the specific code word. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button, give us a like, and leave a comment. What do you think about the new NASCAR Heat 5 quote-unquote gameplay footage that just got released today? Let us know in the comments below. For NASCAR Heat 5, I'm Alan Bailey. We'll see you at the track.